That was episode 3. Episode 5. Is where
5?
Yeah.
4.
We're not talking about 4.
Yes, there's a reason we
have
are.
to.
We have to.
Episode 4, Shell Shock.
Yep. Which we have to for a very specific fucking reason. And don't worry, you can sit out.
Actually, I'm going to bring a few reasons up, too, that might tie in with this.
First things first, Venus has already heard of astronomy.
How, though?
Exactly.
I remember that. It's like, how does...
I'm going to bring up one thing. When Astronomer comes down, and I said that too because Amanda was actually watching this episode with me. It was like the only one she watched. I don't know why, but and she was like Astronomer, and I sat there like, how do you know? Not only that, but I'm getting this. When she says, I need you guys to help destroy the Power Rangers, Raph says, Power Rangers, that's a myth.
It's like
they brought them up in their own show.
Not
Here's
even
why.
And then, yeah.
Here's why. 1, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles live in the sewer. Mm-hmm. There's a reason this is important. Their only access to the outside world is television.
Yep.
But they said Power Rangers are a pretend.
There's a reason.
Yeah.
Because in their experience and what they have dealt with and what they have seen, when they see a news report, that looks like propaganda.
Yep.
And they don't have any way to confirm or deny it because they live in a sewer.
Yep.
They're disconnected from the outside world heavily. The only association with the outside world that they have is what little TV they watch and the things they find. And the things they find are years old. Yep. Not like 2 years old.
Now, see, here's where I have an issue.
And to make matters worse, if you're doing news reports on the fucking Power Rangers, you're in California hearing about the Power Rangers. We live in Illinois. When you hear shit about sports and stuff like that, who do you hear about other than the big teams? You hear about the local guys. You hear about the Cubs. You hear about the Bears. You hear about the Blackhawks. Nobody gives two fucks about, like, fucking St. Louis Blues around here, or the fucking L.A. Kings, or fucking Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yes. Now, I will say the Rangers should be big news.
Yeah.
But this is the way the news works. They were probably big news for the first month that it was happening.
Yep.
Then, areas that weren't dealing with the monster invasions stopped reporting.
See, I question where this takes place along the next mutation line. Because with them saying that Power Rangers are just pretend, and yet in, the 7th or 6th episode of their series, they name-dropped Power Rangers along with cops. Cops aren't pretend.
It's true.
They probably already met them.
So does this take place just after the pilot of the Turtles? Then?
It could very well.
This could have taken place a couple of episodes into
we don't know, but
that's the thing, we don't know.
That could be a high possibility. Let's say both the shows.
Hold my beer.
In fact,
because Venus was already on the team, we know that
both the shows were playing at the same time.
So we know this does. We know for a fact that this will take place after their pilot because Venus is on the team. That's all we really know.
This could very well be
just after the pilot.
This could be right after the pilot.
Shane, remember, first episode of fucking Next Mutation is September the 12th of 1997.
September the 12th, 97.
Okay, now then we need... Okay.
Power Rangers Space is 98. I can tell you that right now.
Power Rangers in Space.
First aired.
Let's see. First aired. Hold on. It's being a fucking pain in my ass. No, I don't need the goddamn end of the fucking show. I need the beginning of the show, you son of a bitch. It ran from 98 to 99. Which
means it aired in 98.
Hold on. Give me all the fucking episodes, you son of a bitch. If you're not going to fucking be kind and just be like, oh yeah, first aired. Like you did with fucking... Well, there's a reason why you guys did that with Shitty Turtles. Fair enough. Let me see here. That's episode 16, 12, 10, 3, 2, 1. First one was November the 23rd of... Somebody put that down wrong. They put it down as 2002. So, I'm going to say November the 23rd of 97.
98.
97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. 97. So November 23rd of 97 is 1-1 for Out of Nowhere. So Shell Shocked was February the 27th of 98.
Which very well means this is right after their pilot.
Yes.
Because they were hoping... Look, here's... Saban had a new show. They wanted ratings. They wanted guaranteed ratings. And they already had Power Rangers, was already a big thing. And they knew they were ending Power Rangers. Probably in Saban's mind, Turtles were going to take its place.
Yep.
They were wrong.
Oh, most definitely
well,
wrong.
The Turtle universe itself, like in the comics and even in the Archie comics, is massive.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying...
But tying into it with like a TV show like this could have led off into multiple things.
But their actual... This goes into being a business again.
Yeah.
Rangers was canceled. That's the reason they get away with a lot of stuff they get away with in space, because they were already told when space went into production, this is it, you're canceled.
Yep.
It's over. Do what you're going to do, close the series, it's fucking done.
Okay,
and
so...
when they said that...
February of 98 for Turtles, that would have either been somewhere around episode 20, 21, or 22. In which case 22 is a 4-part fucking episode.
But that doesn't mean that's where it falls in the timeline.
Yeah. Exactly.
So timeline, it could have been just after the pilot.
This is more than likely right after the pilot. Or a couple episodes.
Yeah.
Would have solved any problem if they just wouldn't have said anything. And just said, oh, the Power Rangers? You want us to fight the Power Rangers?
Well, the reason, but I still believe propaganda is a funny thing, and news is a funny thing, too, because there is major tragedy happening all over the world. I mean, there's riots happening in cities.
Yeah.
But do they tell you?
No.
You never hear about it on your news.
Yep.
You only hear it if it's nearby.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
And
if
Angel
it's nearby
Grove
or
is
if
in
it's something they can spin.
Angel Grove is in California.
Which is across the country from
it's
New
on
York.
the other
3,000 miles away.
coast.
Yeah.
3,000 miles away.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's on the other coast. We don't even get the same channels.
No, we really don't.
So there's no telling what was going on here that allowed the Turtles to say that's propaganda.
Right.
Or Donatello simply said, guys, come the fuck on.
Right.
I don't believe in it, you shouldn't.
And especially not to mention
gimmick.
the fact...
It's a gimmick to sell comic books. And, by the way, because we already know that the Rangers were being promoted in that way, there are Power Ranger toys in the Power Ranger universe, including comic books.
Yep.
And they were also showing up on television talk shows and shit like that, looking like a propaganda machine.
Yep.
So it's very easy to push these guys into comic book heroes, even though they're a real thing happening in the world that we should be paying attention to.
Although we are going to get to something else that doesn't make any sense.
I've already got something else that doesn't make any sense, because the first notes are, Venus has heard of Astronema, Mikey wants to kick ass first.
That's explained.
Right.
No, it is explainable. Venus knows Astronema. Real simple. Good guys, bad, evil, yada yada,
right.
Good and bad.
No, I'm
she
getting
can
that.
Spirit walk.
Right, and I'm getting that. What I'm saying is, my notes are, Venus has heard of Astronema.
Okay,
we've already covered that.
I'm just saying.
Then the next is, Mikey wants to be the first in line to kick some fucking ass instead of fucking Raphael.
Okay.
And then he gets punked back, and then that's when Raph walks up. Fucking Power Rangers are kid shit.
Right, but that's not completely off base here, because Mikey has jumped the gun a couple times.
True. Then we get to Evil Mind Control Ray,
which
they should have probably already dealt with.
No resistance at all from Venus, since she's old.
There wasn't, but putting Venus on the same level as Astronema with whatever that staff is... Astronema seems like that staff could literally be very broken.
I did the same thing you did, Scott, when I saw her get mind controlled. The other four, I could see him getting mind controlled fairly easy.
Yeah.
Venus, I thought maybe she would have put up a little fight because Spirit Walking. She's a mystic ninja.
Yeah, exactly. I hoped so. I hoped so.
That and at the same time again, we've already seen it where Dragon Lord goes, give me a staff to fuck with Chi. This bitch has a staff that fucks with magic. You've already dealt with magical staffs before.
But not like that.
True. The only thing I can think of is, like Bill said, we don't know how powerful that staff is. It was given to her by Dark Spectre.
Everybody that has stared her down, nobody has walked through that staff.
Right.
Nobody. No matter how strong the enemy, no matter how powerful the ranger, she points it and people go down.
God damn it. I just read my next note and realized how badly I fucked up.
So that staff, whatever Astronema's actual power in her grip is probably way more significant than
Which one?
what Venus can produce.
Do you see what? Yeah. Do you see how dumb I was? Because I wasn't thinking.
One of Seth's notes is turtles warp to save the turtles.
Because that literally, like, as soon as shit was going down, I wasn't even writing notes. I'm just fucking like I started to write something, and then I'm watching the interaction, being like, let me get to something that's absolutely dumb, and then I'll pause it.
Let me
and go
read
back.
it. Let me read the right way that I put it. The turtles somehow teleported into attack that was going to the Power Rangers.
Astronema teleports them
dumbass.
onto the battlefield of a monster that was duped. There's a dumb fucking monster that was told by Astronema, hey, you gotta take out them Rangers.
You're nothing but cannon fodder.
And that's
Right.
exactly
I
what it
need
was.
you to play a part.
Right.
But he didn't know. He
Nope,
thought
the
he
turtles are gonna come
He thought he
in.
was the new big bad general.
Right.
The turtles came in, helped the Power Rangers because it's all part of Astronema's plan to get them close to the Rangers. It's brilliant.
And the
it's
turtles
smart.
Right.
played with the monster's attack
right.
before it
exactly.
destroyed the monster.
But they were augmented by magic at
Yep.
the time.
Now, let me.
We also
hold on.
don't know the extent of mutation.
Right. True.
We don't study
Very
mutation.
obviously, a monster who we've theorized was left behind from the original Rita Empire, a monster wants them because he sees it as a more powerful variant of the magic that created him.
Yes.
Right.
And like I said, none of us study biology or anything.
Right.
We don't know this stuff. But the ooze, the mutation, obviously it augmented those turtles to
Right.
ridiculous portions. Obviously,
Now-
they're 5 foot tall talking turtles.
Now, let me read my next note in its entirety so when future Scott has something fun to look forward to.
Did you misspell anything?
No. So, the Rangers know who the Turtles are, meaning that they cruise the streets often enough to be known about as fact and not legend,
Only one person
Who are-
knew him.
who are
Ashley was the only one that
Right.
knew him.
No,
exactly.
TJ did.
But the Turtles are known
TJ
as
knew about
fact
but
and
not their
not
names.
as a legend told by people who are written off as insane, like people who believe in UFOs, astral projection, mental telepathy, ESP, clairvoyance, spirit photography, telekinetic movement, full trance mediums, the Loch Ness Monster, and the theory of Atlantis.
If there's a steady paycheck in it, I'll believe whatever you say.
By the way, you lied to me. And I don't like when you lie to me, Seth.
What?
You misspelled cruise.
No, I didn't misspell it. I used the wrong spelling of the word cruise.
Okay, here's the thing. She somehow knew what they were.
Yes.
Maybe she's from New York.
Cassie could have been raised in New York.
It was
or something.
I mean, do we really know where she came from?
You know what? I'll buy it. I'll buy it. She's probably from... Okay, obviously, none of them are from Angel
Angel
Grove.
Grove.
Because Cassie came into Angel Grove.
She did.
Right.
Cassie came in.
Her episode 1, she was on a bus coming
Yeah,
into the
her
city.
and TJ both were.
Yes,
so
neither one of them are... Those two are not from Angel Grove.
So
Right.
maybe they're from somewhere close enough that the rumors have spread.
About
and-
4
of
walking...
Ninja Turtles, of
5, sorry.
Mutant Turtles.
But I'm going to tell you something right now. You say he's a bad leader. Andros knew something was off. Something bothered him.
No, he did not. The only reason he didn't trust him is because he's a fucking loner.
That's why.
Just like he didn't trust his new
This
team.
wasn't just about him seeing something the others didn't see. He doesn't trust them.
Yeah.
Proof of the fact is that later on he'll be going down to planets by himself because he doesn't care to tell them a goddamn thing about what's really going on.
Yep.
He doesn't trust his own team, let alone 5 fucking mutant freaks that showed up out of nowhere.
Yep.
He
He
said
doesn't
that he has
trust
a bad feeling
anyone.
about it.
He doesn't trust
Right.
anyone,
But he
even
was
his
actually
own
right.
team.
But this time he was right.
He was, but he
Yeah.
doesn't even trust his own team. This is not him being a good leader. This is him being a dick.
You misunderstand. I'm not calling Andros he's the greatest leader of Power Rangers history. But he has a
Was he
legitimate...
right? Was he
He
right?
was right.
Yes.
Yeah.
He has a legitimate reason for why he's not the greatest leader.
Okay.
Right.
Now, for some reason, the Power Rangers are like, let's give you a lift to New York City and tell you all about this ship and all the info about it.
Well, before
Right.
because
Kids looking to show off their fun, cool stuff that another group of kids
Right.
doesn't have, quote unquote.
this is
No,
this is fan
happens.
service like a
you-
mother.
you
That
remember
really
being-
does. It
hold on.
happens all the time in real life. People
Yeah.
come up to this fucking room, this literal room. People come up to this room and shit their pants over the shit that's in this room.
Right, which
And
is all
ask me
shit that
for
we've
stories
seen a
about
million
it.
times.
To be honest with you, the only thing I shit my pants about is I want your helmet and your sword
Right, fair enough.
and your dagger and your other sword.
But yeah, no, everybody remembers being in high school, correct? All four of us sitting here, you remember being in high school?
Yeah.
Do you remember when your friend got his first car in high school?
No,
Dude, man, check it out.
No.
Look at my new car.
because I was the first friend of my group to get a car.
Right.
And you were quick to show it off and talk about what kind of engine or anything you knew about it.
Check out my brand new
One of
car.
my
Look at
friends
this car.
deserved
Blah
that.
blah this.
He deserved me to gloat.
No, it's not.
He
It's
broke
not
my car.
It's not even about gloating.
Yeah.
It's a thing that kids do.
I know.
This
I
is
know.
these are teenage kids
So
I'm
showing
30
off
years
the-
old and I still do it.
But I'm
Yeah.
just saying, these are teenage kids showing
Exactly,
off
so
their
y'all
cool
do.
shit.
So me getting my first car finally,
Right.
I should have been out there gloating and stuff.
But you're not.
Right.
You're
Yeah.
not 18.
But you're not. Yeah.
You're
Look,
not a teenager
dude,
anymore.
these guys are still in high school. They're 17 years old at the oldest, showing off their cool stuff to
Right.
other teenagers. This is
Yeah.
a thing that this is a thing
This is
kids
just-
do.
this is
In
just the
fact,
norm.
kids do it more than they've ever done it before because they could show off instantly through Twitter and Instagram.
Right.
So now it's
Look
even-
at my dick.
Yeah. That's like when I bought my Switch. I fucking
It
came
grew a
home, laid
bit.
it out on my bed, and I said,
Yeah, I did that.
post to Facebook. Look what I just bought.
Fucking,
Yeah, I did
I'm on
that.
Twitter.
Yeah.
New dick haircut, people.
Please don't put your dick on Twitter. Delete.
But it's true.
Twitter's probably the one place he'd be able to put his
They
dick
show
and
off-
nobody's going to say
probably.
anything.
These younger
USS my dick.
younger people show off every motherfucking thing they have now.
I
Yeah.
get it, and I get it, and I understand. I was like that too. So
Right.
yes.
So
I
this
ne-
is
I
not
never-
strange.
I didn't actually question that.
Right.
I question why I'm watching this episode because these turtles are dumb.
And
Well,
I
the
sat there
reason
wondering-
why you're watching this is because the Rangers, they got to go on a stealth mission, and they sneak about as well as I did my first time playing Metal Gear Solid.
so one of the turtles, well, technically most of the turtles, decided to go into Deca and cut some wires. Cut wires, and that somehow becomes a changed Deca, who's certified.
Dude, you realize that?
Why'd you have to say that?
You know you
Because they had to say it for some reason.
dude, I heard it once,
And at least
I
it
lost
wa-
some brain cells.
And
because
at
of
least it was just the computer that said it, not the turtle.
Oh no, I get it. I have to. Listen.
Yeah, that's kind of true.
I
But
have to listen to that enough.
Donatello
Yeah, I know.
techno bullshit is
Yeah.
the only explanation I
They
have.
obviously Donnie was the one messing with Deca because he's the
Right.
only one that knows tech.
Yeah.
Maybe by some chance in hell that makes no sense whatsoever, he was given some sort of technical sight by the beam that shot him and corrupted him.
right.
Now,
Taking
now,
it, moving on.
Yes.
Not gonna. I don't want you to
Moving on.
explain it.
Now
Exactly.
the computer
Yeah.
gets changed, and the shields are dropped down, and Astronema shows up on the ship. And now only Astronema commands the ship.
And they have legitimately beat the Rangers. We're looking at a villain that has already won
In episode 4.
in episode 4.
Yeah.
She won.
Doesn't win long term,
Yeah.
but this is the first major fucking I just won victory. She got all but one Ranger and was on her way back home. She'd won.
Yep.
Mhm.
Except one little tiny detail.
Telekinesis.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think she knows that he has it.
I will say this was an awesome part.
Technically,
When that-
she should.
What was
put
that sound?
brainwash.
I love TJ here.
When that
it's the thing
robot
that cuts
walks
these
up,
things.
dude, I loved that. When the robot walked up and they were like, "What the fuck is that?" And he's like, "It cut this," and he just hands it to the robot, and the robot's like, "Oh, wait the fuck a second."
Okay,
like,
listen,
all right,
listen.
fair enough.
TJ has some good moments. That was a funny
I
moment.
was fucking gagging,
He's like,
dude.
what is that? He's like, I don't know, but it cut this. Here you go.
I'm free.
And the robot's like, well, thank you, man. I appreciate.
Son of a bitch.
You're free. I'm getting it. My ass kicked. I'm not a smart robot.
So they take the space shuttle into. They're pulling from Star Trek here.
Oh, very much.
By going into this clouded area.
It's a magnetic
a space phenomenon. Space phenomenon
Dude,
somehow screws up her magic spell.
Dude, you expect a turtle to explain
that was funny. I'm
a
sorry.
cosmic event.
Yeah, that was a
the
good one
only-
too.
Yeah,
I'm
that was
sorry.
the only good one. Yeah.
Only good line that came
You
out.
expect a
It's like,
turtle
what is
from the
that?
sewers to explain a cosmic phenomenon.
Yeah.
Cosmic event.
Yeah, dude, I thought that was funny too.
So what you're saying, Scott, what you're saying is it was a cosmic space phenomena. Phenomena. Fucking Bill just...
All I know is that these turtles, when they open their mouths, I get dumber.
Not in this episode.
This episode wasn't as bad as their actual show because the Rangers were there to balance it out. But that was the funniest thing I heard these stupid-ass turtles say.
Even at this point, the turtles did not fully give away the fact that they were,
Back to
normal.
Right.
Until they were ready to spring it on her, that they'd screwed her. And look, here's what I love. Once again, competent villain. What did she come here to do? Destroy Rangers. What do Rangers have? We've been over this. The best stuff. Mm-hmm. What if I because this is now no longer a thing, I'm just going to destroy their best stuff. My turtle idea didn't work, but I do have control of the ship. I'm not losing the ship.
Self-destruction countdown.
Self-destruct. I'm going to leave now. And then all four of you motherfuckers, or all five fucking turtles can die. The Rangers that are stuck on the ship, if they are, they could fucking die.
If they're on the planet, I'll take care of them, whatever.
Yeah.
No, I'll get to it later, whatever.
At least I won.
They
won.
won't have Megazord anymore. Bye.
So she's like, blow this motherfucker up, and then goes down to the planet to kill Rangers. Because she already got rid of the one thing that stopped her before.
Yep.
In her opinion.
And then Donnie and them fucking figured it out.
Actually, I wanted to ask something here that I probably should have brought up. Would Astronomy even bother to learn their names? The turtles' names? Because it's like...
No.
Probably not,
No.
But somehow she
sees them
does.
as a tool.
Somehow she does, though.
Enough to reference them when she needs them to do something. Because they were at that point, her new monsters.
Because as far as I'm
and
concerned...
I did like when she yelled at Leo. He's like, you're supposed to be their leader. And I laughed. I was like, please, that's a shitty leader right there.
Because technically she would be like, blue turtle, go do this. Purple turtle, do that.
Right, but since they're her new weapons, she... Yeah.
Now, only the turtles can go from celebrating having a spaceship to being terrified from it self-destructing.
Right.
In which Donatello remembers part of his technical sight.
Yeah.
After Venus gave him a back massage.
Venus? We'll solve it right here. Venus calms his mind and uses her own magic to counteract and reproduce the spell that gave him technical sight in the first place. He fixes the ship.
Yep.
There, we've done it.
Because this isn't
Moving on.
Moving on.
Yeah, because this isn't going to be the first time that it's going to
Don't
happen.
stay on that plot hole.
Right.
Anytime you figure something out with the turtles, I'm going to run with it. I don't care. I literally don't care.
We just want to get through
Makes
the turtles.
sense. I want the next episode.
And that's because when it comes down to it, this won't be the first time that they're going to use, something causes amnesia.
Okay, so look, here...
back on the planet, Astronema pulls out a boomerang knife.
Oh, yeah.
Pulling a Xena
Once
here.
again, this was competence once again. She doesn't just say, minions, go fight them, I'm going to leave now. I'll just assume it all went to plan. What? No. She stays right there, watches it, sees an opening, and she's like, I'm going to kill him. Ka-cheek! Weird, crazy booma knife. And fucking hits all of them.
Yeah. In fact, she even hits some of her own dudes, fuck it.
Because fuck them.
There's more. I have more of them on the ship.
Yeah.
I don't really care.
Yeah, she don't give a fuck.
She doesn't care about
I'm
any
here
of them.
to accomplish my situation.
The only thing
she's
she cares
one of the
about
first
is rising in the ranks.
Yeah, she's one of the first, villains who's, I don't know, maybe seen a Bond movie. You don't just fucking walk away and hope that it all goes according to plan.
So the turtles show up, hand Andros' weapon saying, the green machine has come clean!
And then because we live in a Power Rangers Star Wars-esque universe, we live in a Power Rangers Star Wars-esque universe. Now that the turtles are not bad guys, they have to be good guys because there's only two extremes in this universe. So guess what? Now, Andros trusts them.
Yep.
Because they were bad guys. But since they're not, they can't be anything but good guys.
And now they start teaming up against these.
Yep.
Yep.
And they win, moving, and then
And the team up of the Power Rangers and Turtles is something that would be a fantasy thing that we'd love to
believe
see.
it or not, it wasn't bad when
It
that
wasn't
fight
terrible.
happened. That fight was not bad.
so, but they win, blah blah blah,
Yeah.
and then
And then Turtles.
Actually,
Turtles-
hold on. Because I'm going to say that was one of the best fights Turtles have had so far.
It is.
Yep.
it's
their
not
show.
even it's not even in their
Yeah.
own show.
Yeah, it's not even in their own show.
So they
So then the Turtles ride on the stupid ass fucking boogie boards
They
in
hang
space.
10 in space for
which
And the
which
whole-
is their
and the
first
whole
cowabunga.
the whole time I'm sitting there like, please,
Superman 4.
please suffocate, please
Superman
suffocate,
4.
please die,
Superman
please
4.
freeze in the cold.
Everybody
depths.
needs everybody needs to go watch the awfulness that's Superman 4 and understand that space can't hurt you.
Listen,
Yeah.
because of what happened to Lois Lane, I seen that shit movie. I ain't going back to that shit
Space
movie.
can't hurt you, Shane.
Space has to hurt.
Space can't hurt you, Shane.
It's supposed to, but it's not fucking gonna.
Just because Lois Lane survived does not mean that every human can survive space.
What the fuck?
That's true.
Space can't hurt you, Shane. What's our next episode? Space can't hurt you.
Well,
The
I
next
want to ask something here.
episode
Oh,
5.
We're going to ask something here.
Now, here in America, I'm guessing this is like one of the only times when we have like somebody from another episode cross over. Well, no, there was a Kamen Rider, but he didn't have a show then.
These cheap ass cases.
Man,
So, was there
could be my fault.
in Japan? They didn't have anything like the turtles over there, did they? They didn't have turtles.
Yes, they did.
They did have turtles in Japan.
That
in
episode.
costumes?
That episode did not go to their series,
Okay.
but yes, they do have turtles, and
Yes, they do.
their turtles are bizarre.
Yep.
Like turtle costumes,
It's
turtles.
Japan. Everything's bizarre to us, at least.
Because I know that there was a cartoon series that they had, but
Yes, they have turtles, but I don't know about live action stuff.
We're already 2 hours.
Right.
We're going to have to run through.
Okay.
these
So
real
anyway, so moving on. Episode 5
Episode
is...
5, never stop searching.
Hold on.
One reason why Andros is the way he is.
Hold on.
'Cause
Hold
it
on.
was a mullet baby.
cue
No,
the Star
'cause
Trek
we-
music.
Yeah, I was about to say, we have to start with Space, the
The
final
Final
frontier.
Frontier.
Wrong show. Narrative face palms.
Lead character story development. His sister Crone.
Yeah, baby Andros and baby Astronema. I mean Crone.
One reason Andros is the way he is.
Because
Not
it was
his
a mullet
mullet!
baby.
Mullet baby.
Mullet,
Mullet
baby.
babies.
He'll lose his sister
S-
gone.
D. He's got PTSD.
Anyway,
Even if they don't even if they
he
never
was
show
playing
it.
with that ball.
Right. Look, Shane.
mullet babies.
Don't you leave this room. Don't fucking bitch boy.
Okay, so there's a life force detected at KO-35. Andros goes there, and the
Meanwhile, back at home, Bulk and Skull are filling time by going alien hunting.
He straight up left the room.
now KO-35, like we mentioned before, doesn't seem as devastated as they let on.
Plague.
Yeah, it's a plague.
Plague is what basically took them out, and then they abandoned the planet.
Yeah.
Yep.
And,
So plague wouldn't have hurt any of the buildings.
but when they're above KO-35, it looks like Aquatar. Is it supposed to look like
They could
Aquatar?
have used the same graphic. I mean,
Yeah, I don't
when
know.
it comes down to it, to save money, they do a lot of shit. Now, don't get me wrong. From what I've seen so far of this series, whereas all the others have been like 50% our shit, 50% Sentai footage, because we had fucked up on the Sentai
Ours is more
footage,
like 20% of the Japanese footage.
it depends on like what episodes and where you're at in the season. Usually it ends up going like either a 50-50 or like a 40-60.
Depending on which
depending
episode.
upon what episode you're on and what they needed to do with it. So far throughout everything I've seen in these first 15 episodes, it's looking like 75-80% of almost every single episode has been our shit, with only a tiny bit of the Sentai footage sprinkled in.
But Andros
So-
goes to KO-35, runs into a Clipter who's somehow still alive.
Get up here and defend this mullet baby.
And Bill's fucking calling Shane out.
And,
And it just popped up on the fucking group
and,
chat.
Well, Andros.
You know he's not going to look at his fucking phone. Oh, fuck.
Carlos saw the footage of a baby, of mullet
Who
babies.
was filming that shit?
Yeah.
I don't know.
A drone. Moving on.
But
They're
apparently,
advanced, right? They're an
Yeah.
advanced society.
KO-35 does seem to be a little bit more advanced than Earth.
There was a drone thing that was filming
Right.
it.
Well,
That
it
way
could
we
be
don't
his
have to worry.
parents,
No.
but
No,
Because that
then-
means their parents just watched some guy, fucking spooky monster, just take their daughter.
Yeah.
does
Spooky monster comes and takes your kid. How do you fight it?
Any way I can.
Yeah.
Even if it fucking just
Any
annihilates.
way
Yes.
I can.
does Carlos know all this info about KO-35? That is it from Andros telling him, or did he just look the stuff up while on the spaceship about KO-35?
Well, I thought he was there.
No, it's
way
while
he
it's while
talks.
he's having breakfast with the rest of the.
Oh, the
Earth
fact
group,
that there's
yeah.
a living life form there, he probably left some sort of markers that indicate if something comes there.
No, I mean Carlos was explaining to our Earth.
Carlos
Rangers.
saw him watching
Yeah,
the tape.
He saw him watching the tape. He
Yeah.
was like, well, where the fuck is Andros?
Carlos-
Oh, yeah, he
No,
was
no,
watching.
Carlos was explaining KO-35's stuff that happened there, yet Carlos wasn't.
Well,
at
here's
there.
the thing. Carlos has been on his own a lot. And he stays up later than the other guys, and he's often in the decks, like, working on things by himself. We've been
awesome.
seeing that throughout the course of this.
There's a chance that he found some record on Deca.
Yeah,
it's
he
possible.
very much could be researching and adapting to the role
they're
that he was given.
remember, they're trying to find Zordon. So any beacon, anything, any life form that they find.
Right, but he's just wondering how
Carlos knows about KO-35.
Carlos would know. Carlos probably knows because Carlos probably went out of his way
to
to
learn
know.
shit.
To
And
learn.
probably because a little bit the Andros told him.
Right.
Probably led him to.
There's that
some more.
possibility, but at the same time, like
Doesn't
I said
seem like
earlier,
Andros shared any information with anybody because the other people don't know. Which
Right.
means that the fact that we've been seeing Carlos spend a lot of time by himself, like working on the gliders and shit like that, he's probably also utilizing the library database of the computer
Right.
and watching and learning things
Now,
because he's living in space
What
right
big-
now.
let me ask-
because again, he should have been the Blue Ranger because he's the smartest.
now,
But
Andros, this is why, Andros is the way he is because I didn't tell. I'm your leader. You
Right.
guys are my new team. I'm your leader, but I've got my own personal demons that I've had way before I even knew you existed.
sounds familiar,
You joined my team, and now I didn't trust you at first because I don't know you.
right?
You show up on my ship uninvited. I know nothing about you. Yes, I learned to trust you because you seem like good people. I'm not going to tell you everything about me. Okay? I'm not going to tell you that I have a sister who was kidnapped in front of me when I was a child. Already traumatized. Monster came out of the woods, took my sister, and ran off. Traumatized. That's some PTSD bullshit that he is dealing with. The reason he is the leader that he is, the reason why he's a lone wolf, a lot of it stems from the fact that he lost his home, he lost his sister, he lost his family. You would be the exact same way.
And his
When
only
I-
friend
that-
and partner got fucking put
And
on
guess
ice.
what?
Best friend.
And guess what?
Yeah.
I wouldn't be a leader.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be a leader.
yeah.
It is part of the leader's responsibility to see that in himself and in the other people's, and if so needed, remove himself from the command of situations that he cannot handle.
And I will-
Yep.
Yes, I will
So
give you
no
that.
matter what we give to him,
You have to take points away, too.
he's fine to be the character he is. He's fine to have the past he has. He's interesting to be a ranger in general. He is a bad, if not the worst fucking leader we have had. Case
Yep.
in point, he goes down to that planet to fucking die.
Yep.
I don't care that he went there looking for his sister. He went there at night on purpose while nobody was awake and formed nobody.
And then he gets his ass whooped. And then all of a sudden, Carlos shows
intended
up.
to be back
Yeah.
before they woke up. And had his sister been down there, he would have just shown back up with some random fucking girl.
And then explain
Yeah.
everything.
And then explained everything.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
That's not the way you do it.
I understand, but you also got one more thing to know. Ever since Zane went down, he was on his own. He didn't have to answer to
Right.
anybody. He didn't have to tell anybody anything.
Right.
That's a hard habit
Now
to
he
break.
does.
Yes. Now he does.
hard
Don't
habit to
care.
break.
And let's make it even
Here's
worse.
the truth. Here's the truth. This is the truth of it, Shane. If I am the leader, I am responsible for the lives of every man on my team, including my own.
Yes.
And my own stupid fucking ignorance can kill people.
Yes.
Yep.
In Rangers, we like to often say good guy versus bad guy, but here's the truth of it. The bad guys want you to be dead.
Yep.
Yes.
And if I don't have the right information or the right person leading me into the battle, if I'm going in blind or if he's dumb enough to go get himself killed of his own accord, I can't follow him.
And in this episode, Carlos shows up and gets injured badly.
Yeah.
Because of Andros.
And he does realize it.
But he
Because
doesn't
he's the
fix
one.
it. But he doesn't
But here's
fix
what
it.
makes it worse. So then Carlos is now injured. Carlos is basically laying on his fucking deathbed up in a med bay.
And Andros leaves again.
And Andros goes off on his own
He
again.
learned nothing. Not just this episode. Next episode,
You
and
lose.
next episode,
Good day,
and next
sir.
episode. Every other episode, he jumps the gun, jumps in blind, doesn't inform the team, gives very little to no leadership, and
Yeah.
constantly fucking lone wolves. He is the worst fucking leader we have had in Rangers so far.
And the only time
In fact, it gets so bad that one of the episodes, I have a note, and I'll let you know when we get to it, where literally Andros starts to go off on his own, and everybody else has a problem with it, except Carlos, who's like, fuck it, he does it all the time, I don't give a fuck anymore.
which means he's losing his team.
Yes. Everybody else worries,
He's
and
fine
Carlos goes,
to be
whatever.
He's fine to be a cool ranger.
Yeah.
He's cool. He fought those guys. He jumped in. He learned that thing. He had a cool introduction. His weapon's not bad. His attitude's even kind of cool. I even like his dumbass, terrible highlight hair. And even as a mullet baby, he looked just fine. But realistically, he's a bad fucking leader.
Well,
Yeah.
but here's the
And
thing.
I would never follow him into
Then
anything.
here's the thing. Is it his fault? He's the leader. Did he choose the red power?
Yes.
Who gave him the morphers?
Originally.
Do you give somebody that kind of baggage leadership? That's not on him.
No.
If Billy is
but
the
see,
one...
But let's...
he might have been trained to be a leader.
Because he's not forthcoming about anything that his past relates to, he was given leadership off the accomplishments that he's had so far without knowledge to his entire past, which is not
Right.
rare because we don't have time to interview you.
Right.
I'll give you that.
So we chose him.
And-
but as a good leader, here's another thing. Why is Jason one of the best leaders we've ever had in all of Power Rangers history? I'm going to tell you something, and this is weird, but this is true. He stepped down.
Yeah.
When somebody showed up that could do the job better, he didn't fucking man flex and be a bitch about it. He stepped down.
Yep.
Tommy did step down at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Tommy was a good leader because he realized his time was done and he stepped down.
Yeah.
And Jason is also a good leader because Jason saw that when Tommy was brainwashed again, he didn't leave it to the second in command. He stepped up and became the Zeo leader.
Yep.
Gold stepped into that position the second that power struggle happened because he knew the people, knew the situation, and knew how to lead them to the point that he needed was to
Yep.
bring Jason back. Was to bring Tommy back. He was the one that stepped into that position and said, "I'm not really a leader, but this is what has to happen. This is what I'll make happen."
And let's step it up another notch here. Maybe Andros wasn't supposed to be the fucking leader anyway. Zane had the fucking silver power. You know what's fucking great about that bullshit? Billy was there for when a green guy showed up as a sixth ranger.
Here's another possibility.
And a white guy showed up as a sixth
Here's
ranger.
another very real
Red might have been the
possibility.
Sixth Ranger.
This is the very real possibility. We could be looking at the first... No, we could be looking... Listen, this could be a 7-Ranger team.
Yeah.
Billy might have been intended as the leader. The
Yeah.
only thing Andros was supposed to be doing was gathering a team.
Yep.
And you know what? I even like that idea that, like he said, Zane, the Silver Ranger,
Yeah.
might have been the leader.
Because
But
usually
he
the
went
sixth
down.
guy
But he
is the
went
more
down.
powerful
And when he went
guy.
down, Andros stepped up.
Yeah.
I'm not... Listen, you got... also, like,
But Andros didn't step up. There was nobody else.
Andros
Yeah.
became
He
the only
lone
one.
wolfed.
Yeah.
Even if
when he got this team, knowing that his best buddies are out of commission,
This team made an assumption
that he was the leader.
that
because
he was
wore
in red and that he'd been in space for a while and that he knew what was going on and that they needed his leadership.
Yeah.
So even the man who should be leader right now, TJ, should be the leader of this fucking team.
Yeah.
But
stepped the fuck down.
TJ, as a good and experienced leader, knowing that they would need the benefit of somebody that knew more than him, stepped down.
Because in this situation would make sense for Andros to be the Blue Ranger because he does know what's going on.
Technically speaking, again, I'd shake the fucking colors up and I'd put Carlos as blue, we'd put TJ as red, and then we put Andros as fucking black.
And you know what? I'm okay with that.
And that might even have worked better.
Yeah.
Andros' black might have worked better because he is the strength runner. He's the guy that runs in first.
And I think that, and I'm going to tell you something right now. I'm only defending him on certain cases.
Understandable.
I understand that he's not a good leader.
He's also a character that you like.
He is one of my favorite characters.
There's no reason not to like him. I keep trying to stress that. There's no reason not to like him.
Yeah,
but he should not be their leader.
I think he has,
right.
Out of all the leaders we've had up till now, he's had obviously the most traumatic experience.
Yeah.
Yes.
Think about it.
Yeah.
You think about all the Rangers, whose sister got kidnapped at a young age, who lost his home, who lost his family.
Tommy killed people.
Yeah.
Yes.
And was a pawn of the
he lived and he has to live with that
of
every
evil.
day what he did. But what did he do? He turned it around.
Yes.
He tried to save as many people as he could to try to tip the
Andros
balance.
Andros lost his whole planet.
Yes. We don't
Yes and no.
Not everybody's dead.
That's a tragedy that is not part of the Ranger story. That's like if today a disease swept across the earth. That wouldn't make me the tragic backstory hero that pertains to the actual events at hand.
It would affect you.
It would affect me.
If you were
but
a kid.
then we don't know how many people are dead.
We don't
because
know.
he said that they abandoned it.
They did.
Yeah.
And he knows where they went because he's not concerned about them.
Yeah.
But he could
He's all Finding Zordon. That's it.
Well, no, because this is more like fucking Star Wars Episode 7. Hey, we built another fucking Death Star. We're coming up to blow up this planet. And people are like, fuck this, and dipped.
Yeah.
Now that planet's blown the fuck up.
It.
Well, fuck, I have no more
His
planet.
entire race can still be alive, minus a few people that died from the plague.
Because they had that bug plague
Had
thing
that
that
bug
happened.
plague, and that's why he knew exactly what it was.
Yeah.
When Carlos got stung, he was like...
And it's why he knew that there
he
was
knew
an
exactly
antidote.
what was wrong with him.
Which also, I'm sorry, bad leader, that part too.